ที่ฟินแลนด์นอกจากสายสามัญแล้วสายอาชีวะก็นับว่าเป็นสายที่ได้รับความนิยมและมีโอกาสในด้านการงานที่เท่าเทียมกันไม่แพ้สายสามัญเลยทีเดียว
So after secondary school you can either choose to go to vocational studies or upper higher secondary studies. What is the benefit of this system?
When the kids are 15 years old, they have to decide would they like to take more vocational or academic. In Finland, it's about 50-50. The vocational school is not training for a simple vocation. It's quite close to academic line. So you are learning languages, you are learning math and science, but you also, of course, you are somehow focusing to some kind of area, the metal industry or wood industry, something like that. But anyway, we know that during the working life, a human being have to change the profession many times. So it's not clever to educate a simple one profession, but more widely. Parents in Finland, they trust this vocational line. You get a good occupation, you get a high salary. In Finland, we have not so huge differences between the salaries between academically oriented and vocationally oriented. Sometimes the vocationally oriented have better than academically oriented.
So a doctor in Finland and a wood carpenter in Finland, would they be paid more or less the same salaries?
Not exactly. But if we compare the kindergarten teacher and a person who is constructing the houses, I think they are quite equal. Or a person who is working in a library, an academic degree, or a person who is fixing the electricity, to make the wires to the houses and make the electricity working, I think they are quite equal. So maybe the doctors in any field, not in humanities, they are low paid, but in other fields they get a higher, but not so extremely high. And then we have also the taxes, so we have the progression in taxes, so that those who are earning smaller salary, they pay small taxes, maybe 15% or 10%. And those who are getting higher salaries, they pay more. I pay almost 60% of my salary taxes.
That's a lot.
So it's a lot, but then we know also that we get a lot of benefit. We get the education, healthcare is also free. Nobody need to pay in medical doctor, and a lot of services from the society.
Is it very tough for university entrance exam in Finland?
Yes, because the university degrees are free, so nobody pays of the degree. So even the PhD is free for those who are accepted to the program. So our Ministry of Education is a little bit controlling how many doctors, how many teachers, how many historian people we educate in Finland, because that is paid by the tax money. So we have the limitations how many teachers, for example, we are educating in Finland. And the consequence of that is that there are quite many applicants for teacher, for example, teacher and other fields also. And for example, in my institute, we almost 3,000 applicants and we take 120. So it's 5% or something like that we are accepting to the program. It's one of the most challenging at the University of Helsinki, the teacher education, to be accepted. Medical school is about the same, but it's a little bit easier than teacher education. Teacher profession has a very positive face and it's very attractive for young people. In some European countries, they do not have control how many teachers, for example, they are educating, and that's why they have quite big number of unemployed teachers. So it's an important question, is it fair to the young people to educate them to the demanding profession in 5-year program, and then they are unemployed? So in Finland, it's very balanced. We have enough all kind of teachers, even science teachers, math teachers. Not too many, not too little number.
Why is it that way? What's the perception in Finland to the teacher's occupation?
So it's first is the historical tradition. So there's a long tradition in education. The first, the church was first organizing the reading, training for the reading. But then in the 1800s, beginning of that, we have the quite well developed school system. And in the beginning of 1900, the government take care of the whole education. So during the last 200 years, there has been education, and teachers has been highly appreciated in all villages. So they are important persons in the village. They are educating young people. They are giving the competencies to read and calculate and go in further studies to even the universities. And what is, in my opinion, quite important nowadays is that you get an academic degree, a master level degree, and this gives you the competence to do all work in all areas, not only in the teacher profession. So you are a master in education. You can go abroad, work in the companies or work in the organizations like UNESCO or OECD. So the world is open. This degree is very good degree, Master of Education. So it is attractive, like law school, like medical school. It's compared to them. Salary is not as we were discussing about the salaries. Our teacher's salary is in the middle of the OECD rankings. Here in Asian countries like Singapore, South Korea, they have the highest salary in teacher profession, but not in Finland. And this is because we do not have any inspectors. We are not having any test. So the teacher is real kind of academic person. Nobody is inspecting or punishing him or her. So it's independent person who is collaborating with other teachers. So it has a nice status. You work with other people, do important things, you enjoy that, and nobody is controlling. We come again to this ownership. You teachers really feel that this is our work, not somebody else who is controlling this work.
ปัญหาหนึ่งด้านการศึกษาในประเทศไทยคือการที่เด็กไทยต้องใช้เงินและใช้เวลาเพิ่มเติมอย่างมากไปกับโรงเรียนกวดวิชาในขณะที่ในฟินแลนด์กลับไม่ต้องมีการเรียนพิเศษเพิ่มเติมเลย
Since it is very super competitive to get into well-established universities
you can say that,
Finland, do students have to go to cram schools? I mean, take extra classes in order to prepare for the exams?
So in basic schools, nobody takes. So we are not having that tradition as in Asian countries. There is one cram school in Helsinki, and they have the kids who have been ill for a long time, this kind of special reasons.
Right.
And maybe in some situations there are some motivational reasons parents are buying. But it's really only one school in the whole country of doing this kind of. So there are no markets for cram schools. However, in the end of the high school, or we call it upper secondary school, the young people take special courses, but we are always, all the time changing our entrance examination, that it's very challenging for those cram schools to follow what we are doing. So we are mainly looking for how motivated the kids are, the young people are for taking the courses at university, how motivated they are to work in the teacher profession. And we are also looking kind of learning competence, so how well they are able to learn new things. So maybe it's not easy to train in this kind of cram school.
จากการได้ฟังปรัชญาและนโยบายการศึกษาของประเทศฟินแลนด์ก็ชัดเจนนะคะว่าเขาให้ความสำคัญกับเรื่องของการศึกษาอย่างจริงจังค่ะในแง่ของนโยบายไม่มีการเปลี่ยนนโยบายกลับไปกลับมารวมถึงอาชีพครูเป็นอาชีพที่มีเกียรติทุกคนให้การยอมรับแล้วก็ได้ค่าตอบแทนที่ดีเพราะฉะนั้นเด็กหัวกะทิของฟินแลนด์จะแย่งกันเข้าไปเรียนคณะครุศาสตร์นะคะเพราะฉะนั้นฟินแลนด์พยายามทำทุกอย่างค่ะเพื่อให้เด็กของเขาเข้าถึงการศึกษาที่ดีมีคุณภาพอย่างเท่าเทียมกันเพราะนี่คือรากฐานที่สำคัญในการพัฒนาประเทศต่อไปค่ะ พบกันใหม่สัปดาห์หน้าวันนี้สวัสดีค่ะ